Ndị be anyị ekeleni m unu ọzọkwa n'ụbọchị nke tata bụ 13th of February 2024. Asị ndị be anyị ọ ya dịrị unu na mma n'ụnụ ya dịka echi ada agwụ dịka esi kwuo unu nkwa na anyị ga-ewetara unu daily update n'iru akwụkwọ bụ gbasịta maka ihe na-eme n'obodo anyị, and ọzọ dịka ibe ya bụ gbasịta maka nwere ụwa a na-azụ, ana gbasịta maka ife a na-eme ndị Igbo. Mana anyị ji good news wee bịa n'ụbọchị nke taa. Good news. Ọ ife anyị ji maka ya wee bịa n'ụbọchị nke taa. Yes. Dịka o si dị, dịka esi kwuo unu nkwa, ya bụ ife bụ unu ma n'oge gara aga kọtụ bụ high court ebe Maazị Nnamdi Kanu ikpe ya dị abịaghị kọtụ mbọsị ekwesịrị ikpe ikpe, mana n'oge ugbu a fix go another date to start Maazị Nnamdi Kanu's trial. So mma chọkwa unu ga ya bụ ife unu ga-esia ya from our brother on a drop or comment unu ife nche n'iru akwụkwọ. All right, over to you, my brother. Over to you, sir.
Fix fresh date for Nnamdi Kanu trial, and the new date they fixed is February 26. Let's go straight to the news, then we'll later go into analysis. But do not forget to be part of this analysis and comment. Go to the comment section and give your own input or what you think concerning this matter. The news. The Federal High Court, Abuja, has fixed February 26 to begin the hearing of the case of the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. Kanu's special counsel, Barrister Aloy Ejimakor, made this known on Thursday, adding that the case would be heard by Justice Binta Murtala Nyako. We're back to the era of Justice Binta Nyako. This is actually funny. Nigeria, we too will not go see for this country. Chineke. Let's continue with the news. Record that Ejimakor disclosed on Wednesday that the court adjourned the hearing of the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, earlier scheduled for Thursday. But the lawyer vowed that the legal team would be unrelenting in getting justice for the self-determination group leader. Ejimakor, however, on Thursday, via his account, formerly known as Twitter, wrote, Update. The case of Federal Republic of Nigeria versus Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been set down for hearing on Monday, 26th February 2024, before Justice Binta Murtala Nyako. The hearing notice is attached below. In the adjournment notice attached to the post, the court disclosed if either party desires to postpone the hearing, he must apply to the court as soon as possible for that purpose. And if the application is based on any matter of fact, he must be prepared to give proof of those facts. If further raised, the parties are warned that at the hearing, they are required to bring them forward all the evidence by witness or by documents which each of them desires to rely on in support of his own case and in contradiction of that of his opponent. The proof will be required at the hearing and not on a subsequent day, and parties failing to bring their evidence forward at the proper time may find themselves absolutely precluded from the adducing it at all, or at best only allowed to do so on payment of substantial costs to the other side and on such other terms as the court thinks fit to impose. We continue. The court also said parties desirous to enforce the attendance of witnesses should apply at once to the court to issue one or more summonses for the attendance of the witnesses required. It is indispensable that the application should be made so as to allow time to reasonable notice to the witnesses required. If the witness is required to bring books or papers, they must be particularized in the summons sufficiently to enable him to understand what is meant. Any party summoning a witness through the court thereby becomes liable to pay such witnesses a reasonable sum of money to be fixed by the court for his expense and loss of time. Also, the court may refuse to enforce the attendance of a witness unless such sum has been fixed and deposited in the court. If either party desires to use in evidence, start the hearing, any books or documents in the possession or power of the other party, he must give the other party reasonable notice in writing to produce it at the hearing, failing which he will not be allowed to give any secondary evidence of its contents. And that is that on the issue of Onyenduma Nnamdi Kanu and the confused Nigerian government. Actually, Nigerian government, they are actually confused currently in the case of Onyenduma Nnamdi Kanu. And like I will always say this, when you do not have anything against a particular person, you find every possible means whatsoever to bring that person down. And yet, there is still nothing you can hold on to. Then the next thing you do, what is the next thing? You start circumlocuting around the whole issue without any reasonable evidence or proof against that person. This is what the Nigerian government is actually doing on the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Ha korogelu, ha korogala. Ha nekweri, like people that does not have a law. But the reality is that Nigeria actually has a law that is guiding, it. But the way the Nigerian government is acting is as if that there is no law guiding this country. It's as if there is no law guiding this country. Because Okwa Justice Binta Nyako was the person who has been handling the case of Onyenduma Nnamdi Kanu. Now, they took the case. In fact, she ran away from the case. She had to find a way to maneuver the whole thing just to run away and hand the case over to the High Court, Federal High Court, Abi, or the Supreme Court, rather. Yet, they couldn't get anything. They couldn't find anything. They continued their process of running. They do not have anything against this man. Release Yekwania. They refuse to release Onyenduma Nnamdi Kanu, an innocent man who did not commit any crime known by law. At least so far. It is actually so unfortunate that we actually grew up in this country that has been lawless. A country that does not know its left and its right. In fact, because of the criminality in this country, it's assumed that this country has no law whatsoever. Because of what? Because of criminals. Criminals who has vowed to take over the country. Criminals who has been feeding on the country, making the country lawless. This is what we've been seeing in this so-called contraption called Nigeria. Because it is only in Nigeria that someone who did not commit any crime is being held incommunicado. It is only in Nigeria we are experiencing these kind of injustices. Only. A na-ekwu nke na-eme na ọzọ a na-eme. But at the end, the truth has to be told. And the reality has to come out. They are actually running out of options currently concerning the case of Onyendo Nnamdi Kanu. The Nigerian government are running out of options currently. They don't know where next to go. And that is why they've been finding a way, to bend the case in every possible means that they can. And it's working for them. They are delaying him justice just to deny him the justice that he truly deserves. As we've heard, they fixed a fresh date, February 26, for the case of Onyendo Nnamdi Kanu to continue his trial. What will be the outcome of his trial? The world is watching. But the reality is that the world is not doing anything concerning the trial of Onyendo Nnamdi Kanu. On that note, I say thank you once again for joining us on this wonderful YouTube platform. I urge you, please support our news platform. Because one thing we do here, we try as much as possible to give you updated news. The least you can do is to show your support to our channel. Support us in any way you can. And we will be definitely grateful. Thank you once again.
Ndị be anyị na-ege ntị, daalụ nne nụ kunu sikwa wee na-esoro anyị ya na-eme n'ụbọchị nke taa. Unu anụgo n'ihe ekwuru n'elu akwụkwọ, unu fụ ka o si aga, unu fụ ka o si eje. O nwere ife m na-agwa ndị mmadụ, holding Maazị Nnamdi Kanu can never stop this thing happening in Nigeria, rather than to release him. Once you release Maazị Nnamdi Kanu, everything will be alright. The more you hold Nnamdi Kanu, the more Nigeria is collapsing. And the only option is referendum. And the only referendum be able with the solution to all those things. So ndị be anyị bụ na-ege ntị, daalụ ndị na-ekwu nsikwa wee na-esoro anyị ka efi nwere ike ikwu gbasara maka ya bụ ife ndị a niile nọ n'elu akwụkwọ nwanne anyị gụpụtagasị according to African Human People's Court decisions. Note na ka efi nwere ikwu gbasara maka ya bụ ife n'elu akwụkwọ drọpụrụ na ya, and the Eastern News 24 bụbụ ebe anyị si wee na-wetara nnukwu ozi ya dị oke mkpa. Ngwa ndị a nọ niile na ụmụnne m, ka emesịa na ụmụ Igbo.